Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode Under God. We're in the city of brotherly love, my birthplace of Philadelphia. Today we have a very, very special guest. He's someone that I met many, many years ago, 2004. At that time, we were both just starting off in our careers, and I've watched him grow as an artist tremendously. And now I'm meeting him in Philadelphia on the second stop of his nationwide tour. Without further ado, producer, entrepreneur, Atlanta-based Korean American, Kato on the track. Let's go.
Kato on the track, beer.
Welcome back, everybody. As I promised before, I brought the 5-time Billboard charting Korean American Atlantean, Kato on the track, who's very, very busy. He's on his second stop of his 23 city tour.
Yeah.
I mean, going across the nation, and I'm very honored and thankful for your time, bro.
Of course, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So, just for people who don't know who you are, like, can you give them like kind of some name drops?
Yeah, I can name drop.
For production credits and stuff like that.
I've worked with Tyga, Joyner Lucas, Jack Harlow, E40, Snoop Dogg,
Damn,
Ice Cube, Too Short.
A lot of people.
You know,
Right.
list goes on. Jay Park.
And what song was that?
So we got Jay Park on Jaren's Rock Nation album that I executive produced.
Wow.
He hopped on Money Bag.
Whoa.
And he just did it out the love. Like,
Wow.
you know, I hadn't met Jay at the time, so he, you know, but they were both signed to Rock Nation, so he just jumped on it.
That's what's up. As far as Korean Americans go, like, especially on the East Coast, you know, we're not really surrounded by musicians or people that have succeeded in the entertainment industry. So I'm kind of curious, like, what began those steps to this path in the beginning, you know, like.
I mean, I just did it because I love making music. And honestly, like very early on, around 2005, 2006,
Yeah.
I saw you doing your thing in New York. And you were like, no joke, Snacky Chan was like the OG. He was like the only Korean, you know, American rapper at the time. And so I was like, I saw you, and I was like, wow.
Get out of here,
Shit
man.
is really possible. You know? Like I can make a living doing this. And then we linked up in New York, and you showed me love, and that was a moment for me. So after that, I just kept going. So I was like, wow, this is really possible. So thank you, bro. No, I'm being truthful though.
I mean, before me, there had to be somebody.
Not really. Get
out of here.
Not like Korean Americans that were doing it like that. Like, yeah, you were kind of the first, honestly.
So I'm responsible for Kato's success.
Facts.
Yeah. What were, like, if you could name maybe 3 pivotal moments in your life that kind of inspired you to go harder?
I would say the first one is when Jaren got signed to Funk Volume, and I was producing most of his music at the time.
Yeah.
I'd say the second is when I got signed to Funk Volume as an independent producer.
Okay.
Because that was a big moment for me. Like, that kind of gave me a platform to share my music and start reaching out to bigger artists and everything.
How about before Funk Volume?
Pre-Funk Volume?
Pre-Jaren, like, is there any person or moment that kind of like put you more on this path?
Are you talking about you?
No, besides me.
Because honestly, that was it. It was just like, before Funk Volume, it was linking up with you and just making music in my...
He owes me 50% of all profits.
I am.
This is really a generic question, but how would you describe your sound? I mean, can I describe it a little bit? I feel like it's catchy and somewhat simple. That's pretty much it, or you got anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
I just try to keep my tracks very simple, you know, because early on, especially working with Jaren, I realized that putting too much in the beat was just, it was like distracting
from the artist,
you know? And I wanted to put the focus on the artists and their vocals and what they were saying, especially Jaren, because he's so animated and you know, he's got an interesting kind of voice and stuff.
Most Asian artists have mostly Asian fans.
Yeah.
But for some reason, you're like one of the very few Asian artists that have mostly non-Asian fans. I mean, why do you think that is, or was that intentional?
It definitely wasn't intentional. I don't know. I just, you tell me.
Oh man, I have no idea.
Besides you.
Through it all, like, that's actually a better thing. Because for me, like, I had mostly Asian fans, and I didn't really like that because, you know, it seemed like they liked me because I'm Asian. The only reason they're liking you right now is because of the music.
Yeah.
And, you know, the value you bring on your content, knowledge and all that. So I think that's dope.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't know. Yeah, I think
some people actually try to avoid the Asian market.
I definitely haven't tried to avoid it. I just haven't tried to specifically fit into that demographic because I came up in my career in Atlanta.
Yeah.
At the time, there weren't a lot of Asians in Atlanta doing their thing.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of just amongst a community of white, black, Hispanic, and I was always the only Asian person making music, you know? And so I think it just has to do with that, you know?
I feel like over the years your job role has kind of changed, or the image of who Kato is more become from, you know, the producer Kato to more kind of like a motivational, a person who consults and helps people further their careers. Like, do you ever feel like that damages your, in any way, the artistic credibility side? Because, for example, for me in Korea, they have such things as rap lessons. And when rappers do rap lessons, like, people kind of lose respect for that artist. And in some ways start thinking of that person as more of a teacher than a doer, I guess. You know?
Right. I think we're moving, I think things are changing so fast in the industry where people almost expect artists or producers to also be entrepreneurs at the same time, right? Like, do different things. Traditionally in the past, if you weren't a successful artist, you ended up teaching, right? Or you started making YouTube videos. And that kind of became your lane. My journey has been the exact opposite. I came from making music and working with artists and like producing albums for well-known artists and getting my credits up. And then I kind of transitioned into the educational side. You know what I mean? I didn't start out doing the educational stuff. So honestly, and it wasn't even something that I planned. I just started talking about my experiences and it resonated with people. So I kept doing it. And that's how this has grown into its own thing. But I look at it as me just being a versatile entrepreneur who just so happens to make music.
One thing that I always knew about you, or well, since we met back in 2005, was I would, after we met, I would check your, like, back in those days it was MySpace. And I would just be like sitting there wondering, like, how is this dude like getting so many friends, and like how is he getting so many plays? And like, you always had this talent for like promoting yourself, and it was just crazy. And even now, like, you know, consistently over this long ass period of time, like you've been promoting yourself, you know, shooting yourself in the videos and just like, I don't know, I thought that was really incredible about you.
Well, you know what's funny is that I started out as a rapper.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember this.
Yeah.
Like, I started out as a rapper who also made his own beats.
Yep.
And so my kind of intuition for just promoting my music and stuff comes from that.
Yeah.
And also, I want to also credit the artists that I came up with working, because I saw how they were promoting their music, how they were engaging and interacting with their fans, especially when I signed to Funk Volume. That kind of gave me a whole new perspective on what it meant to be engaged with your fans, because they were so active with their fan base, right?
Yeah.
And so it kind of taught me a lot about building a community and sharing your music, promoting it on social media, using social media to just reply to comments and DMs. And I just took all those lessons and applied it to my now production career.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the same thing with that, you know, so.
Wow, Funk Volume must have really opened your eyes to stuff.
It did. It was big for me. I think Funk Volume was one of the first independent hip hop labels in the US to be on a major scale, like right there next to TDE or Strange Music, or like we were getting to that point, you know? And so for me to kind of see the inner workings of that and see how the business was run and see how they put tours together and how they promoted their albums and you know, got the whole crew involved in, you know, just lifting each other up. That was like inspiring to me.
And just so you guys know, Funk Volume, the CEO, the founder was what, Hobson, right?
Yeah, Hobson and Dame Ritter was the co-owner of Funk Volume.
The So Pretty Challenge.
Yeah.
That was huge. I mean, you had some big celebrities.
That was crazy.
Like, was that an ingenious plan from the get-go that you just thought of and like, it just happened the way you planned it, or what? Like, how did that come about?
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
So, like, tell me, like, how did it come about? Like,
I just posted a beat on TikTok back in October of 2020, and a couple months later, I saw that it started to go viral. It just went crazy, and we never put a dime in a promotion or anything.
Did you ask people to do this thing where?
Nah, people took that and they ran with it.
Like, so who did it first?
I want to say Bella. What's her name? Bella.
Bella Hadid?
No, not
What?
Hadid. Bella. Damn, she's like a big TikToker.
Bella Porch?
Bella Porch. Yes.
Holy crap.
I want to say Bella Porch, if you're watching this, you were the first one to do the So Pretty Challenge, and after that, shit just went crazy.
Wow. That's what's up. You gotta work with her, man.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I'm down.
So, if for the people in Korea watching, So Pretty Challenge was was a viral hit pretty much, and what it was a bunch of girls would shoot themselves and they would follow the beat with their hands like 2 or 3 times. The third time, they would just transform into like this glamorous, like hot, sexy woman. You know what I mean? So if you saw those videos, this is the dude behind that. Okay, who was like the hot, like, or the most famous person to join that?
I remember.
Wasn't the Atlanta housewife?
There were a couple housewives.
Oh,
my
word?
girl is a huge fan of the housewives.
Yeah.
So every time that happened, like I would send her the video and she'd go
Did
crazy.
Nene do it? Nene?
I don't know if
The big
Nene
one?
did it,
but the other one, the singer, right? Candy,
yeah.
I'm embarrassed to admit I like the show. You know, the
My girl loves the show. Y'all would get along perfect.
By the way, congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Any girl in the future he's taking, don't even try it.
It's the emoji.
But anyway, sorry, you were saying something?
No, I was just gonna say, I think I remember Gabrielle Union doing.
Did she do it?
Yeah, and that was like, ooh, shit.
Wow. So did that open doors for anything else?
Yeah, I mean, every record label in the world was on my line after that shit.
What?
Literally, everyone from Def Jam, Universal, Warner, all the major record labels, they were sliding in my emails, calling me, like, They all wanted to know what's up with So Pretty.
Can you put that song out, or did you put the song out?
We put the song out. It's at, I think, over 25 million streams.
Woo! How much you made, man? I mean, do you have to share those royalties with somebody? I mean, that's kind of personal, but...
I produced that whole beat by myself.
Yeah.
And then plus I got artist royalties on top of that. So shout out to my team and my lawyer, Josh, for negotiating that deal for me.
I mean, was the check what you expected or a little disappointing?
It was the biggest check that I've gotten for a beat.
Wow, okay. Yeah, that's what's up. Okay, let's talk about the last subject I want to talk about, which is not really music related, but Asian hate. I've been out of the country for a little while now, so I just saw from the news, Black Lives Matter, Trump, Asian hate, blah, blah, blah. So I was just curious, like, has Asian hate affected you in any way?
I think when it really hit home, literally, when the shooting occurred in Atlanta at the spa.
Oh, right.
That was like a big thing. And that was like right in Atlanta. Like I drive by there all the time.
Oh my
Never
God.
been there, I promise. Definitely hit home.
So nobody has been really up in your face, like.
Well, to be honest, at the same time, the pandemic was happening, so we weren't really going out much anyway.
Right.
But I did see like friends and homies that were being like discriminated against just for being Asian or being attacked. I mean, we saw all kinds of just crazy shit happening.
Really?
And so it's hard not to feel a certain type of way when you see that happening in your own community, you know, to your own people. So yeah, it was disheartening, and I think it's just one of those things where we have to speak up about those types of things. And it doesn't happen often, right? Because Asians have this kind of stereotype of being a model minority, and you know, stuff like that doesn't really happen to our community. And so I think it was an opportunity at the same time for us to speak up about Asian hate. And
all right, there's gonna be some producers, like amateur producers, watching this too. So if there's like one thing you could tell, like beginning Kato, you know, don't do this or do this. There's one thing you could go back in time and tell yourself, what would it be?
If you're trying to pursue an unorthodox career, you just have to be fearless. You can't be afraid to take risks and take chances. And on top of that, I would say just pursue the things that you love, that you're passionate about. Because right now to me is the best time ever to pursue your passions and your dreams and become successful at it. We have so many different tools and ways to do that now that we didn't have before. Like even back in MySpace and Facebook days, I still remember going to the mall and handing out my CDs and, you know, I'm
Flyers.
sure you did a lot of that too. And now we have TikTok where you can post one video and it goes viral to the entire planet, you know? So I think the opportunities now are so, it's just in abundance. And so if you're willing to take action and take risks on the things that you want to pursue and the things that you enjoy doing, the payoff is going to be huge.
Like myself, Kato's been an independent, like truly independent artist for what, 20 years, something like that.
Close to.
And that is extremely difficult, and to do it on a consistent basis and grow and transform and staying relevant, that is extremely hard. If you guys don't know about him, please do find out about him. His content definitely is helpful. Korean peoples, he's Korean, okay? His name's Kato, which is like kind of on the Chinese side, but he's Korean, okay? Please support the brother. He loves Korea. He loves Korean artists.
I'm gonna be out in Korea soon too.
I'm gonna bring his ass
We're gonna
out
make
there.
that happen.
No matter what.
So let us know in the comments who you want me to work with.
For sure. See, he knows how to do it. All right, without further ado, I'm gonna play a couple songs.
All right, let's go.
꽃길이 있으면 내 우리들 새로운 시작이 널 엄습하는 불안감 보이가 돼서 난 가만히 앉아있을 수 없네 응원이라도 해볼까 해. We sing it like yeah, yeah, we sing it like okay, I just make the bills 내게 전화를 걸었지 yeah. 오랜만에 놀러와 like old times 내가 살길 그대로야 우리 집은 똑같은 동네 똑같은 곳에 사사로 we met but back in the days the one I met
It's kind of short what I played you, but
Who is that?
that's Weinstein and Lil Boy. Like they're solo artists, but they collaborated.
Are they popular in Korea?
Yeah,
I can hear why.
that's pretty dope, right? They're pretty
Super
good.
dope. I love
What you like about it?
I love the melodies. I love the kind of happy,
The vibe.
good vibes.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a good rhythm
Summer
to
vibe
it.
on it.
Yeah, super summery vibe. It's just dope song.
1 out of 5. What you give them?
I would give it a 4.5.
4.5. That's what's up. Next.
Young rich, let's go. 오래된 삶은 삶의 길거리엔 도망치더니 칼자루 앞이가 흥건해 우리 그떨 땐 몰랐지만 그냥 힘센 형이 제일로 멋졌었지 그땐 그래 우린 사나웠었지 형이 저기 가던데 비용 수도 없이 맛본 치울 때부터 상용될 때 썼었지 신고할 수 있는 게 오직 기도
What you think?
I like it. It's like the Korean version of Juice WRLD.
Korean version of
Oh,
So 1 out of 5. What you think? Is your event starting?
I think so.
All right, guys. That's all we have time for. His event's about to start. We're really sorry, but
Thank
Kate
you,
on the
thank you,
track.
my boy Snacky Chan.
yes.
Appreciate you, bro. I'm
Under
sorry.
God. This is the name of the
Shout out to Under God.
Yeah. Peace.